Art with Clark.
Okay guys, let's get ready to make this negative positive space project, okay? I got another lesson I'm gonna sneak into all this, and that is contrasting, right? So I got purple and I have yellow. These are two choices that I have here to put together. And I picked these because these are so opposite. They're actually complementary colors. They're opposite on the color wheel. This is sort of pastel, but it still falls into this category, right? It's very, very different. It's so different, in fact, that it makes that this yellow makes this purple just bam, pop out. It really, really shines. Maybe at Christmas time, you'll notice that a lot of people use red and green, and the reason is they are complementary colors and they make each other stand out. Black is a neutral color, and it works really well to contrast colors. I have a light green, and it really helps to make it pop out here. However, if I had like a dark blue and I put it up against this, it wouldn't work so well, you know? It would just kind of blend in. So let's get to it. Actually, I have an example here. I have a dark purple. This doesn't really show up very well, right? You want something lighter than the black background to kind of pop out. All right, I think I'm going to use purple and yellow. And I'm going to use a square, but you guys at home or here in my classroom, you could use a triangle. You could use so many different shapes. At the end of this video, I'll put up some other examples that I've used, but you could use tracers. You could just create your shapes. It just has to be smaller than what you're gluing it down to. For this video, you're going to need a pencil, a pair of scissors, and a glue stick. So here we go. I'm going to draw it in marker today, and that's just so that you can see what I'm doing. At home, you could do this with pencil. All right, so when you're doing this, I'm going to use one of my other little cards as an example. You're going to be drawing shapes on each side. Now, you don't want to draw real skinny little designs because it's going to be super hard to cut out. You can get a little detailed, but just make sure they're not thin and they'll kind of fall apart and it's hard to cut out and keep it all together. I'm going to come over here to the edge and always kind of scoot in, and then I'm just going to draw a wavy design, and I'm going to land not quite on the edge. All right, so I'm going to come here. I don't have a lot of space. I really used up a lot. And this one, I think I'll just keep it minimal. Over here, I have these organic shapes that I've started. You do not have to do it this way. You could have hard, straight lines. You could even draw a triangle into it. It's totally up to you. I think I'm gonna kind of draw an organic triangle because I have a lot of space right here. There you go. All right, so now I'm gonna lay my background down, and then I'm going to cut this out and show you how we're going to do this. So what you're going to want to do is cut along the line. When I'm cutting, I'm using the inside of my scissors. I usually never would cut on the very ends, and then I'm moving with my other hand. My dominant hand is my right, so I move it with my left. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So I'm doing a lot of the work with my other hand. All right, I open it back up. I'm using the inside of those scissors. Now I'm saving these pieces that I'm cutting out because they're going to be really important. Okay, let's cut this one out. So I'm cutting the positive space out of this. This is solid, and then what's left is air, which is the negative space. Try to keep that in mind because in future drawing lessons, I'm going to be bringing up negative space. It's going to be super helpful for you to draw things you see and create things out of your imagination. You might be seeing objects in a whole different light when you start drawing this way. Okay. Woo! He got cut up. You don't have to make your shapes as big as mine, but that's seems to be what I did. All right, guys, so we're gonna glue this part down. I'm gonna take my background out of the way. I think I'm gonna put the marker side down. I don't really want to have that showing. I think it would look neater if I disguise that. So I'm gonna put the glue on that side. If you have a lot of pencil marks, you might want to disguise your pencil marks. Okay, and then I'm gonna take my background. If you are in my classroom, make sure that you've written your name on the back of your paper. All right, and then I'm going to lay that down in the center. Hold that down for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so that way it'll grab. Now, this is the negative space, and I want you to plug the positive back into it. We're going to just put the puzzle together. You're going to have to flip it over. There's the other part. And this one. And finally, this one. Okay, now, you're going to take, and we're going to put glue down on the puzzle pieces that are sticking up, not on the back of it, on the part that's sticking up. And then we're going to flip it over like this, line it up, and glue it. And look at that. It makes this big, cool shape right here. So let me show you. Put this down right here on the puzzle piece, not on the part you've already put down, but on the puzzle piece. We're going to get glue all over it. Okay, then we're going to flip it, line it up just like that. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. There you go. Okie dokie. All right, and then same thing. We're gonna take, and on the top side of that, before I flip it, I'm gonna pick it up because I'm afraid I'm gonna get glue all over my design if I left it down. I'm gonna pick it up, and then I'm gonna flip it out, line it up. Gotta be really careful not to get glue on the wrong side, otherwise you got glue everywhere. All right, on this side, not that side. Now remember, when you're using your glue stick, please don't go all the way out because it'll crush. You just kind of make sure you have about that much coming out. All right, guys, I'm going to put this on here. Flip it, make sure you line it up. Got the positive and the negative. And we're going to have this right here. Fill it in, fill it in. And then we're going to line it up. Oh no, look at that. My paper, my background paper is not going to be big enough. But hey, why not? I'm going to let it stick off. It seems kind of cool. All right, now, after this, I will put up some videos or some pictures of different shapes that I'm going to do, maybe triangle, oval, but you don't have to stick with just a square, okay? All right, guys, thanks for joining me.